Hello, this is the Morning Gardener, and I am here again. And I said to myself, it is now 10:20 here a.m. I'm gonna go out and I'm gonna cut back some of those trees today. Today it will be done. Yes, got the secateurs right here. And I should have sharpened the loppers, but hey, I'll get them done today. It's now or never. Hey, how you doing there? Young man, how are you? Haven't seen you in a while. It's been a couple of days. Now, I'm growing, well, of course, you might not know it, but I'm growing spinach indoors. Got them in a tray from a ground beef tray, rinsed out and filled up. It's about 3 inches deep, about between 8 and 4 inches. Perfect. And I'm gonna tell you something else. I also started some purple lettuce. Now, I was watching a couple videos like I normally do. I've seen yours that you put up. I've seen them, and very good, very good. But I wanted to, what my whole thing is I'm on right now. I'm looking at soil. That's it, soil, and I love the fact that when I go to your videos, I see that dark, rich soil, and you tell people how it works. You'll say, I am putting these items in the ground, and I'm feeding Mother Earth. And when you feed Mother Earth, she gives bountiful supplies of food back. As long as you're not feeding my cooking. But the thing about it is, I am having a good time because the spinach is doing good. But I'm concerned about the lights that I'm using. I'm using those 4-foot fluorescent lights. Now, lumens. Someone mentioned lumens. Now, mine is I can't remember what it's called. It's called a T. The size of the bulb is a T8 or 8T, something like that. Here's my point. I got a very nice lights, but my question is, I wonder if they're putting out enough. And I don't want to get caught up in that where people trying to get you to buy $800 lights so that you can grow 10 cents worth of spinach. So I am going to research that a little bit more about the lights, because the lights are pretty good. They're fluorescent. They're regular shop lights. And they put off a temperature of about 70 degrees. And the plants are growing underneath the lights. They went from, the seedlings were yellow, because I'm going to tell you how I grow my seedlings in a second. I grow them in a black plastic bag. I put the tray, slide into a brand new black plastic bag. I tie it up, put a twist tie on it. It's got a sensor run in so that I can control the heat mat temperature inside of there, which, by the way, I'm having a horrible time trying to control the temperature because it keeps going above or below or whatever. At any rate, now I got it at 77 degrees in there. And it's constant because that sensor, wherever you move that sensor, if you got it stuck down in the soil, it doesn't read correct. If you stick it under the trays where the plants are, it doesn't read correct. So I'm like, oh, okay, this is ridiculous. Now you got something that says lead lighting is the best one you can get. This is a spectrum. Okay, thank you. Now, so the shop lights that I have, are they a good deal, or can I get away with it? And there's someone else. Let's see. I'm using 2 shop lights, full bulbs, 6,500 daylight. Okay, thank you for that. Thank you for that. I tried to get the tray that had 4 in it. I tried, but I didn't. And I got the one just with 2 in it. So we'll see what that does. But the plants look okay. They're green. They're healthy. So I mean, what are your thoughts? What do you? Because I think that and some guy in a video mentioned that if your bulb's on at least 5,000 lumens, then you're barking up the wrong tree. And I'm thinking 5,000 lumens. So how do I find out how many lumens is my bulbs? So I go look at the bulbs. In fact, I took pictures of the bulbs. And I'm looking on my phone now to see if I can locate them. And I don't see anywhere on there where I can tell how many lumens these bulbs are. Then I thought, well, go back to Home Depot where you bought them 2 years ago, 3 years ago, and see if they might be able to tell you something. But I don't want to take the bulb out, damage the bulb. So, ergo. Let me see if I don't have a picture of it right here, right now. I don't have it. I don't have it right now. I deleted the pictures some time ago. But the lumens. So I'm trying not to lose it and sleep over it. The plants are growing good. I bought a bag yesterday of powdered, it's called garden lime. It's powdered, and I like that better than the granulated because it's just a quicker reaction when you put it in the soil. But here's what I'm doing. The soil mix that I came up with is using peat moss. So I'm just using a little bit of the lime to kind of compensate the acidity and the thing there. And remember, and you tell me what your thoughts are on this. Our job is primarily this year to grow roots. I know what that means, the roots. We want big, healthy roots. And that will determine how big the plant becomes. Because it's very important that instead of digging a hole this big for your tomato plants, you dig one this big and put the tomato in. Because the bigger the hole, the more room that the roots can grow, and you want to make sure that the soil is loose, and that also you can get oxygen into that soil. Because my understanding is the deeper you plant this vine, you're going to allow for it to be a bigger root system, which in turn will give you more fruit. Now, is this making sense to anybody? Because I mean, I'm pretty sure I'm onto something right here. The bigger the root system, the bigger the plant. It is spectrum. Oh, okay. Thank you very much for that. It's spectrum. It's not lumens. So somebody called it lumens on one of the videos. I was quoting what they were saying, lumens. They called it 5,000 lumens. So I couldn't find that anywhere. When I looked up lumens, I said, what is... Okay, let's see. Red light. Let's see. Plant your seedlings just before full moon. And the roots vegetables will be optimal. Okay, got you. It has an effect on the tides and all, the full moon. Okay. Uh-huh. And you and I have to talk food, forest, permaculture about, it's a slightly different subject, but it has to do with fishing. And I'm thinking that I go to a fishing location and I go for crappie, and I rarely catch any crappie. And I think it's because the fish in that area are so smart, because everybody fishes there. And they know when they see these lures and they look up and they say, there's another one trying it. Oh, there's one over there trying it. And so they're familiar with it, but that can't be the case, I'm thinking, because the fish, do they get smarter, or do they not get smarter, or they just fish? But anyway, I'm downsizing my lures from this to this. And I'm thinking that might have an effect. I think it might have an effect because they definitely. I want fish with. In other words, I want fish with my vegetables that I'm growing. I want fish with my vegetables that I'm growing, and that's just the end. That's what I want. Everything looks good on this end. We got big fat buds on the trees already. Big fat buds on the trees already. Don't make any sense. Here we are, some nights 14 degrees, 22 degrees at night. And my what they call that tree, plum tree called Santa Rose, is got buds all over it that's green. And I said, wait a minute, does this tree know what time of year it is? Does this tree actually know? Because all other trees are kind of holding back. But the Santa Rose said, no, I got this. My Santa Rose is saying, I got this. Don't you worry about a thing. My Santa Rose, which, by the way, has never produced anything, but this year she's acting different. She's saying, I'm 3 years old and I'm ready to start producing some fruit. And if you don't like it, then guess what? You know, that's what this is my thing. And it's doing that because it's just incredible. It's just incredible. But I got the lime. I'm digging these holes when time comes. It's deep as 12 inches deep for the tomato plants. But that means I got to grow tomato plants that are much larger than the ones previous years like this. No, I got to grow them at least like this so I can put them down in the ground. Let's see, good for you. We have success. Oh, okay. I am definitely excited, folks. You can tell. I'm definitely excited. And I want to make certain, absolutely certain, that this garden thing gets off to the right foot. I spent for the materials I need this year. I'm sad about one thing. That is my favorite tool, which is the manure fork. The handle is giving out on it. It's getting ready to give out because every time now I'm using it, I hear that little crack, crack, crack. And I said, okay, got it. The handle was cheap when it was put on there originally. I only had this fork about, I don't know, 5-7 years, something like that. And now the handle's giving out. And I would like to save the fork. I would like to save it. But at what cost? Is it going to cost more than it was if I go get a nice shiny one for $45 that's got the little slick, looks like aluminum handle or some kind of, you know, the new style handles they have that's guaranteed, you know, not to really break. And I'm gonna tell you, I got some tools in the shed that's made of that handle, and that's some beautiful stuff. I got me a hoe, a heavy hoe. I don't know why that hoe is so heavy. And it is heavy. It's got this slick handle, yellow handle on it, and it looks like it's not going anywhere, you know. And here's a question I want to ask some of you good people out there. Does a hoe actually have to be sharp to do what it needs to do? I mean, because I've been using them, the one, I've never sharpened it since I bought it, but it was really kind of blunt when I bought it. But have anyone ever used a hoe and really sharpened it and saw the different effect that it would have? Because I think a hoe's job is a number of jobs. One is to clear weeds. One is to dig in the soil. You know, I've used it just primarily for digging. But I'm finding that some of these videos I'm watching, these guys are using these things to clear weeds, to cut weeds. Then I got the hula hoe, you know, with it, and that's supposed to get all around plants. I got that razor sharp. I don't know, folks. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good. They say even ice fishing is best when it warms up. Okay, thank you. But when I'm going fishing, I'm out there fishing for crappie. And everybody knows crappie can be this high, that low in the water channel. The water, and he could be in any depth. And depending on if you know what this fish does at 50 degrees, 60 degrees, 70 degrees, you can better track them, where they usually be located when they're there in the daytime. When the sun's up high, are they out deep? Are they in close? Are they around pylons or bridges and things like that? And it's very hard to get that kind of information unless you're gonna really, really try to. But crappie is good. I caught one that was 12 inches long, and I keep saying I got him on a fluke because I was using a little white Mr. Twister tail, and he hit it, and I thought I had a bass, and I pulled him up, 6-pound test, set him on the side. He was that long, and I said, "Look at this fish, wow!" And I tried a whole day, to get another one like that. Nothing bit. And then I said, okay, why did that one bite? And why didn't he bite any of the other lures? And he only hit that Mr. Twister Tails. I don't know. You explain it to me. I mean, it's fishing, not catching, but I don't know. Mm-hmm. I made a soil mix that I'm so proud of, folks. It's 2 parts of the main part of it, which is the peat moss, and 1 part of perlite. And then I also add some lime in, and I also add, okay, let me get myself together. It depends on what I'm using for. If I'm going to use it in a potty, I use a bit of potty soil to go into it. Which I could mix in a little bit of compost. I could mix a little bit of cow manure in there with it. It depends on what I'm using it for. And I'm thinking this is going to be the key to a lot of my success this year, because I grow enough food now, but I want to grow more. And I'm thinking the key to that, one of the main keys to that, is growing better and bigger root systems. That's my whole focus this year. Root systems. Growing them huge and healthy. And when root systems are growing, you don't need soil that's packed tight, heavy, waterlogged to really try to grow a healthy root system. You want to grow. Oh, okay. I think he said subscribe to someone. Subscribe to me, or was it Food Farmers Permaculture? Hell, subscribe to both of us. Yes. But I think that's what you're saying. You subscribe to someone. You said subscribed, and you left it right there. So it's a lot of that I don't understand there. But I appreciate it if you did subscribe. But I appreciate you just being here. Appreciate it. Bye, Food Farms. Subscribe to you both. Oh, thank you very much. Thank you. And I got to tell you, folks, Food Farmers Permaculture, I love his channel. He puts his stuff up there, and it's very simple to understand. And he's into that, he'll show you the product and what is growing, and he'll also put it, when you look at it and see the soil. I love the soil. I love shots of people's garden when I see the soil. When I see the soil, I'm seeing the truth, because that is what makes plants grow, is that soil. And he's a young kid, I don't know his name. He's about 18 years old. When he shot the videos, he was. And if you look at his garden, he's growing all these incredible peppers, bell peppers, jalapeno peppers, beautiful peppers, folks. I mean, the kind that you would fight over if you went to the grocery store. These peppers are pretty, but if you look at his soil, you'll see why. While he's showing you the peppers, I look down at the soil. I look at the soil, and it's just so loose, and you see the perlite in it, and you see the all that peat moss. And I'm looking at this saying, this guy spent, here's what he did when somebody was teaching him how to garden. This is my thoughts on it. Somebody schooled him and let him know that it was the soil that he's got to pay the most attention to. The soil. And he got it right. He got it right because a lot of people, including myself, a number of years, I messed with that clay soil. I lost time. I lost good stories about I grew this and grew that, and this was big, and that was, lots and lots of this. No, but I gained an experience because I had to learn from those mistakes I made, and now I know for a fact that it is the soil that is the key, the very key. And also keeping gardens away from the garden hose and overwatering their plants. Because that's something that a lot of gardeners do, a common mistake. They overwater. They just keep going to that, oh, my plants are growing beautiful. I think I'll go water them without checking and see whether or not they even need water. There's so many tricks, and you are inspiring me to work with and improve my clay soil. I thank you very much. I hope I am, because you get the soil right. You get the soil right, you're gonna see your plants act different than they ever did before. I have so much black soil now from me just chopping and dropping weeds, chopping and dropping grass. Anything that grows there becomes fertilizer, and that can save me a ton of money. And I'm on that now. I'm on that. So when I put my plants in the ground, oh my God, let me get myself together, folks. When I put my plants in the ground, this is just so exciting. And the first thing you do when you put them in the ground is you water them in. You water them in and let them just get comfortable with the soil, and they go, oh yeah, this is it. And then the roots start to move out and hunt for food. The soil is loose and full of a very important element that it must have in it in order to grow the plants you need is oxygen. And when your soil is packed tight and heavy and waterlogged, the only plants that can survive in those conditions are plants that are indigenous to that area. They don't find it. They will grow in the very minute particles of air they can get, and they can also grow in heavy packed soil. Because if you ever pull a weed up, if you pull a weed from the ground and just take your fingers and feel these roots and feel how hard and almost woody they are. And they're designed for that environment. They're designed for it. Your plants you put in the ground with the soft white roots, they need as much support and help they can get. So you have to make sure that those roots understand soil is loose. Boom, you can grow out, you can grow down in search of food. And when you see your okra plants full of okra on them, not just a couple pieces every once in a while, but okra, serious okra on it, where you wondering how you're going to put all this stuff in the refrigerator. That's when you understand what your plant's needs are. Nice, pretty soil. Okra loves nitrogen. And when you put that in there, okra will respond by just giving you lots of okra. Peppers, heavy feeders, likes water, likes to be fed. peppers, like to be fed. They love it. You don't let them sit out there and starve and because they're not gonna give you nothing. Same thing go with corn, skinny corn that produces a couple of carbs and that's about it. And you're not getting what you thought you was going to get. I didn't realize my arms were that hairy. That's weird. So, as you continue to improve the soil every year, dragging in the fall, the leaves, chopping down the weeds, chopping down the grass, adding that grass. Now, let me tell you something that I added, and I use it as the terms like arsenal. What I've added to my arsenal. And it goes like this, folks. The lawnmower that I purchased brand new for if you can say it with me, $100. Brand new. You see the paperwork on it? It's front wheel drive, bagger on the back, everything. I think you can see that. At Home Depot for $100. Let me tell you how I did it. I went there and they got the clearance items out. Last year's models. Why do I need 2020 model? I just need a brand new functioning deal. And I went there, and you don't go talk to the people in the back that work back there at the register. You go talk to the supervisor. And he might give you more off than I got off mine. Because I talked to him. He said, hey, you're the morning gardener. I didn't know the guy knew me. And I shook his hand. And that helped me make a deal. And I said, listen, I'm interested in these lawnmowers you have back here. And he said, which one? And there was a few back there. And I said, this one here. And he said, okay. He said, tell you what, let me go check or something. I'll be back. You're going to be in this section? I said, yes. And while I was in the section, I picked up 3 brand new, what do they call them things? Oh God, you know, they put down fertilizer and they put down seeds and all that kind of stuff. I can't think of the name of them right now. Somebody knows what I'm talking about. Anyway, you know, some of them are like this. You crank them and whatever. But anyway, I got the big ones, and it's from Scott Company, and they were just simply changing the models. Spreader, thank you. I can never think of that word. Thank you very much. Thank you. You helped the show keep going. And so I bought 3 brand new ones, $6 a piece, marked down from $60. Oh my goodness. And I would have taken the other 4, but I couldn't get them all in my car. And I had the town car with me that day. If I really was a smart gardener, I would have had the trunk empty that day, but I didn't. The trunk had other things in it. So anyway, that's what I did. So I got them for $6 a piece. I bought 3. The other 4 I had to leave. Yeah, because I said, if I put this one there and I put this one there, and I said, got the handle on it. I said, the handle's pushed down all the way it can go. I can only take 3. God darn it. And so I called somebody up there, and they came up and got the other 4. Anyway, they had bags of soil conditioner for lawns, $44. It was originally priced, marked down to $4.50, and it was a one and all, of what they call it, weed and feed and all that kind of stuff, and it was all in one. I don't mess with that stuff because I have to use my grass to feed my vegetables, so I don't want any weed and feed, and I don't want anything like that. I need grass that has not been treated. I need grass that has not been treated. Once it's been treated, I can't use it. So that's where I'm at right now, folks. That's where I'm at. Finding deals, doing the best I can on these videos here, and it helps pay for my garden. And I'm really happy that that happens. You know, that people will subscribe and also watch the videos. You know, and that helps me keep going, because without your support, you come up one day and you look and say, "Damn, Morning Garden, I don't see him no more on here." It's like sometimes you go to these garden channels and you see that it's been vacant for 2 years, 4 years, 5 years, and it's because the person either passed away or they no longer have the garden, got frustrated, or they just decided to health or whatever reasons to stop doing the garden, and that's sad. But for the ones that are still going on, we got to grow food because it's possible for anyone that has even a small garden to produce at least $600 worth of food a year, $600 worth of vegetables a year, and it demands that we do it because we need to have some kind of control over what goes inside our bodies. I'm so sick and tired of turning. You can't really get a lot of good. There's a lot of good gardeners on the YouTube, but not all of them are trying to do the right thing. Some of them only want you to watch so they can say, and if you buy this product, you know, they're like that. And when you see that, you're like, he's not helping me. He's a good gardener because you see all the produce, and he got tomato plants that are 8 feet tall, and he's got 60 some odd tomatoes on the plant. And he's telling you, if you want your plants to grow like that, you got to get this. You got to use this. You got to use that. And he sells it, of course. You know, just go to the link down below. So he's not helping you. He's not helping you. And then there's some people, and he said it right blatantly on the channel. He said, a video I was watching, he said, I grow these giant pumpkins. He's just really good at growing giant pumpkins. But he said, I got, right next to it, he's showing you, he said, I use this. Oh, and this right here, I can't tell you what that is. That's my little secret. Well, why even have a video up if you're not going to tell us what's in the daggone secret sauce that you're using, so to speak? Why have it up there? Why dangle a carrot in front of people that are trying to feed their families and trying to eat better so they can live longer? Why are you dangling this carrot? Why are you doing this to people? Put it out there. If you got it in there, you might help a lady that's got 3 kids, struggling working 2 jobs and trying to survive, and you know how to garden, but you're going to hold the secret back so that you can make some dollars off of her. Come on, man. Come on. There's enough suckers out there that believe that that there's some secret sauce that'll make your plants grow. What that's already been on this planet. Some of the baddest gardeners and farmers have lived and died and been born and everything. It's nothing new to this game. It's nothing new. There's no secret sauce. There's no magic. And one bag I saw at the while I was out there, and it's a new slick bag too. It's just really, I take pictures when I go to places when I buy my items, and it's called Miracle Grow Performance Organics, and it's a bag, okay, of freaking probably wood chips and a couple of pieces of perlite or whatever they got in here. It's nothing magical about it, but the price tag is really magical. It makes yours go from $9 per bag into their bank account. So that's pretty much all it does. Now, every single last one of these companies are claiming, oh my God, they're claiming that if they sell you this bag, of this stuff here, you're going to go from a rotten garden to an outstanding garden. You're going to go to a better garden. I would not deny that, because you got to remember, plants eat plants. And all they got in here is a bag of plant residue, whether it be wood chips, whether it be portions of farm waste, whatever. It's just stuff that's already been here. They put it in a pretty bag with all the big, pretty pictures of guy holding a piece of squash that's about 18 pounds, or a big apple on a pack or whatever, and say, this will absolutely grow you these. No, they won't. No, they won't. Not unless you know what the hell you're doing, because the information is on the bag. And if you read that information, it tells you it gives you certain piece of information that you should look at and go, Know that one thing that all these bags have in common: they're organic, or they're all chemical based. But by them being organic, they're giving you organic matter to add to your soil, because everyone that's been gardening for at least a year knows, hopefully, that adding organic matter to your soil improves your soil, whether it be sandy, loam, or whether it be a clay. It improves the soil, because the life in the soil is magical in the sense that you can't see this life unless you look under a very powerful microscope. You can't see it, but it's there. It's there. And it improves your soil. It turns your soil from garbage to great soil. And yes, soil can be great with the right amount of knowledge, and the items that you add to the soil can make it great. But you must move away from man-made ways of doing it. And I know that's hard to do, because advertisement out there is very, very, very powerful. The way that they show you a plant, they'll say, this plant was planted at the same time this plant was. And that's not always the truth. That's not always the truth. These guys know how to add the story up to make it sell. But organic matter, knowing what you're doing and when to plant, like Food Forest Permaculture mentioned earlier about planting on a full moon. There are so many things that you could do, so many things, if you just had the knowledge base to improve your overall garden without coming to the conclusion of, I got to go buy this guy's stuff online. Look, there was a guy online, he was selling rock dust a few years back. I mean, he was putting the videos up. Rock dust, rock dust, rock dust. And I, did a little research. It didn't take much, and found out that rock dust is nothing but ground up rocks, powdered, in other words, powdered form. And I said, wait a minute, how did plants get rock dust before this company came along that's grounding up larger quantities of rocks from a rock quarry, which is garbage rocks that they don't have no use for, too small or whatever. And they ground them up even further. And they said, we're going to sell rock dust to these people, because minerals being added to plants improve plants' growth. It improves their overall health. And that is true, absolutely true. But I guarantee you, you got some rocks in your soil. You have rocks in your soil, and that's where the plants get their rock dust, because the worms suck all off the side of the rocks. The rocks that decay and small particles are removed slowly, but the worms get it, and they eat this stuff, and then they move all around your plant roots, and they excrete that waste from their lower end intestines. They excrete that waste all around your plant's roots. While they're eating the life forms, and they're eating also the organic matter, they're excreting other materials along with excreting the organic matter, putting this in a form that your plants can now eat. And that's all I'm saying, folks. There's nothing new to this game. They got us thinking it's something new to this game, and it's not. Gardening is this simple. The only thing about gardening is it's so simple that it boggles your mind that it's that simple. You mean all I got to do is follow a couple of rules and create an environment that this plant likes? And if I create this environment and make sure it has food and water, that's all there is to it? Yeah, that's it. That's all there's to it. There's no brain surgery here being performed. Okay, let's see. Coffee grounds in my garden. Anything. Remember this, folks. Let me explain something to you. Anything that growed, lived, or died can be added to a garden. Anything. The family's cat, no disrespect. The dog that lived and played with the kids and all that's organic matter. I'm just using that as an example. It's all organic matter. Food that you've eaten, bones, the watermelon rind, you name it, coffee grounds, any of that stuff. It's all organic matter, all organic. And it goes back into the soil. Whether you put it back there or someday it finds its way back there, but it goes back to the soil. Let's see. White peach varieties do recommend that they grow well in Maryland. Let's see. Wait a minute. Let's see. What? White peach. Oh, you're asking. Okay, I got you now. I got you. Let me tell you the easiest way to find that out. Don't get online and ask people that, because sometimes they don't know, and they'll tell you some weird stuff. But white variety peach. Okay, you would go to Stock Brothers. Now, I'm not working for them or anything like that. You would go to Stock Brothers and you would type in your zone. And then you would look for white peaches. And the varieties that they give you, if it said it fits in your zone, that's it right there. And these are professionals. And that's what they do. And that's where you would want to go to find out what's the real deal. Now, I took some videos of some peaches and that was at Home Depot, because they already bringing them out. They started to bring out the trees. And these are some healthy little suckers. I mean, they are thick and burly and already got all these spurs on them. On the apple tree, excuse me, on the apple tree. I'm thinking apples. And they got them on there. I am going to use, let's see, unused. I think you say you're going to use unused coffee. Is that what you're saying? I'm not sure. I said, I'm going to be using unused. And I don't know what to say. Thanks both of you. Yeah. Peaches, yeah, grow them, because now don't think that it's all peaches and cream. Peaches is a very difficult plant to grow. I don't know if you've grown them before. Bugs, everything want to eat them. Everything wants to eat the peach. They're soft, sweet, nothing but goodness. With when you bite into them, the juice runs down your arm. If you grow them right, they are so sweet. You could dice them up and put them in ice cream. Make peach ice cream, of course. You could. Oh my God! You make peach pie, peach wine. You know, all kind of stuff. Peaches are definitely a delicacy, and they're expensive. And it's hard to get a good tasting peach at a grocery store. It's either going to be picked. Well, all of them pick green, so they give them to you, and you get them, and they taste like crap because they're not enough sugar in them and all that good stuff. Don't get sold on these gardeners that are online, and every time they talk to you, they're telling you to go out and buy something for your garden. The dead giveaway for you good people would be, well, as soon as they say, if you want to grow this, you need to go to, or you need to go on this line, or you need to go, and they'll mention, now they done got so ridiculous that they're mentioning each other's site. Go buy from him or go get his tools or whatever. And I'm like, oh, okay, I got it. These are salespeople disguised as gardeners. Got it. So that's what that deal is. They're making their hustle, and so I don't blame them for making a hustle, but help some of the gardeners out on here that might not be as experienced as you are. Help them out, get them in the game, because you got to tell them the reason why you're growing all this stuff is because you now have good soil that creates an environment for this particular plant. And don't just keep adding stuff to your soil. Sometimes you ruin your good situation, make it even worse. If you add give a good example, they tell everybody add lime to your soil. No, find out if you need lime first. Find out if your soil even needs lime. The lime is it's easy to sprinkle that stuff down and then find out that your pH was already 8, and now you done push it further up on the scale, so now it's harder to grow something there. Find out if you need it first. I'll give you an example. I went out and took my pH readings in my soil 2 days ago. Everything read at 7. 7 dead on. Now, I know when I add peat moss to my soil this year, it's going to try to raise the pH a little. But I'm in that hole alone where the tomato plant is, I'm going to add a tiny bit of lime to just that hole to bring down or to compensate for the peat moss. And by the way, peat moss is organic matter. I'm adding compost to that hole. I'm adding also cow manure to that hole. Now, it doesn't necessarily have to be cow manure. I'm just using cow manure. You can use rabbit manure. You can use horse manure. You can use I digress. But you can use it just about any kind of manure to that hole and put it in there. Fish heads, fish guts, whatever. Put it in there. And I'm going to tell you, you're going to have incredible success, because plants need to eat, and they eat what? If you just remember that one thing I said over and over again on this broadcast, they eat organic matter. But one of the best organic matters, one of the best is fish. If you got a grocery store where you got one of them old fishing markets and anywhere near, and then people love you and they say, go ahead, take what you want. You get the guts, you get the heads, you dig the soil holes ahead of time, and you go out there and you put the guts in there and you put the lime on top of it, and then you put your organic compost in there and you set that plant on top of that. I hope you have enough room in your refrigerator for the tomatoes that you grow. I hope you have enough, because they're going to just do nothing but grow because you gave them what they need. A plant doesn't fail. It's the gardener that usually fail a plant. The plant doesn't fail. It's designed to do what it does. It grows. But when you put it in a hole with thick, heavy clay soil, and you kind of wish, I wish this garden do well this year, and I hope that maybe that soil's maybe it's not too heavy. Yes, it is. If you got it in your mind that soil's probably too heavy, it probably is too heavy. It probably just, you're hoping that these plants are strong enough to fight their way through that heavy soil, and that's not going to be the case. If you have heavy soil, do something about it before you start your gardening season. Add some peat moss to that soil. Add some compost to that soil. If you have compost on hand, you did great, saving that daggone compost. And when the fall comes, oh my God, when the leaves fall off those trees, good people, listen to me. Don't stop bagging that stuff up and throwing them away. Stop throwing the leaves away. Don't do that. If you're throwing away, look, I go up to the store. Let me show you something. I go up to the store and they sell bags of they call it leaf mold. No, excuse me. This in the middle is called, that's soil conditioner. Soil conditioner. Guess what it's made from? Anybody at all? Guess what it's made from? leaves. How much is it? $5.25 a 40-pound bag. Come on now. They're selling it right back to you. You put it out on the curb, they ground it up, compost it, and then they sell it right back to you. Right back to you. But when you get it back from them, you don't know if that stuff is safe or not, because those leaves that they give back to you could be mixed with people's grass clippings or whatever. And sometimes they put their herbicides and all that stuff in those grass clippings, herbicides, excuse me. And you could be buying something really bad. I said, we are 15 snow and my plum tree and peach tree are in full bloom. Oh my goodness. God, I hate to see you caught like that. And don't do like somebody told me one year, oh, put some sheets over the trees. Put some sheets over the trees. I went out there and about 6 sheets all uncovered. They were blown off. And I put them on there exactly the way they say put them on there. Use some clothes clips or whatever they call clothes clip for the clotheslines. And I clipped them all down. I came up that morning, all of us laying on my fresh, clean sheets was all over the ground. I said, this is ridiculous. This is absolutely ridiculous. But folks, we're almost at the hour. We're going to end out. But I just want to say, stop spending large sums of money on your garden and just do it natural. Do it natural. I cut down some tree branches in my yard a couple of days ago. I'm just going to do nothing but cut them smaller. And I'm going to put them around my trees, my fruit trees. And guess what they're going to become, folks? Can somebody put the word there? They're going to become fertilizer. They're going to become fertilizer. Because that's the way to do it. When you're in the woods, when you're in a natural forest, a tree grows some dead limbs. I mean, the limbs die, they fall down where? Below the tree. At the what? Root base. And they rot back into the ground, in turn, feeding the biology, and biology, in turn, feeding the tree. Been going on for millions of years. Some of the world's tallest trees on earth, believe it or not, nobody's out there fertilizing them. Nobody's going to Home Depot or Lowe's and bringing bags of fertilizer out there. These trees have been feeding themselves for thousands of years. I was looking at a tree a couple of days ago that was on a video. It was over 4,000 years old. And not once have anybody fertilized it. So your trees, when you prune them, you could go out there and actually prune your trees and set that sucker up where you can say, I got this. I'm smart enough now. I'm getting knowledge on the air. I'm telling you, stop all that. Add so much of this to your compost, add so much of that to your compost. You can put everything in your compost pile. You can put bones in there. You can put, my father used to put, he used to take spoiled foods and stuff, and he would dig a hole in the ground and pour it in there and cover it up. I mean, deep enough, but he would cover it up in there, and that wasn't nothing but fertilizer. Anything goes into your belly, you go right into the ground, and it wouldn't hurt a thing. Well, folks, this has been the Morning Gardener. I've been hanging in there. Let me make sure I forgot anybody's questions here. I think my zone is for, I'm in Omaha. Just to find your zone, just simply Google it. Just Google it. Google your zip code, something like that. Just Google it. It'll tell you exactly what zone you're in. Let's see. So that was an easy one there. Yeah, just Google it. And somebody said something about peaches. Well, you might not be able to Google that and say, what are the best peach trees grown in Maryland? And you might get some answers there. You might get some answers. I'm sorry, because I did Google it's a corn that grows well in Maryland. That's where I'm in. But I know that I'm in zone 7B. And the zones change because of the weather we're getting. Man-made weather we're getting. Let's see. Okay, Google. This phone is really slow. Okay, Google. Corn that grows well in
Hi there. What can I do for the nicest person I know?
Now you know this phone is full of it. Okay, Google. Corn that grows best in Maryland.
According to Garden Guides, recommended yellow corn varieties include Sundance, Showcase and Supersweet 7210, while white varieties such as Ice Queen, Sweet Ice, Alpine and Fantasia win plaudits. Plant early varieties around April 1st to 10 about 1 to 1.5 inches deep in the soil. Main season sweet corn can be planted between April 20th and June 1st.
Google. God, I love this channel. Google is bad. Let's see. Good title, but not only your pockets, but also your body. I like that. Not only your pockets, but also your body. Oh, at the beginning, y'all had to excuse that ridiculous picture I put up there. I was feeling a little goofy at the time. Honeybees grow inside and surrounding you with plants. I'm changing this background here. I got to come up with something. I realize I'm advertising this store around since when this store came about. 1910. That's when they started. And you go down there, they're the nicest people. They're the nicest people. They'll give you all the information you need to know, about the plants. But I'm growing, I don't even like lettuce that much, but I'm growing lettuce because I had to have something to do until I can get outside, folks. I got this addiction with the gardening. See that right there? I can't get myself together. And it's just an addiction. I got the patch on right now. I'm wearing the patch. But that being said, it's almost closing down time. But I want to thank all of you for stopping by. This has been great. Now, I am going to change the hours of when I do my broadcast. I am going to change it because I come in Monday, there's nobody up here, and I'm sitting here, I'm going blah, 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 trying to warn people to stay away from these gardening channels that all they do is throw up there in front of you and say, I grew this, and they won't tell you how. And that's a dead giveaway. That's just wrong. Great ideas. Well, what great ideas? You said great ideas. I'm kind of lost here. To me, you said great ideas. Say cute picture. Oh, okay. What are you saying? Change the pictures behind me. Okay, it's not her fault, folks. I don't know. You have to spell it all the way out for me to get it. You got to spell it out. I'm just not that quick, not that swift. Let's see what we got here. So what I'm looking at here is that you got to be careful because gardeners are posting. And now we're getting ready to get into the garden season. So they're going to amp up all their little ads and they're going to say everything. They're going to be on there and they're going to show you all these beautiful road gardens and they're going to show you all these beautiful plants. They're going to tell you you must use this fertilizer or you got to do it this way and that way. And it's just crazy as hell. It's just crazy as hell. And it's so confusing when you go into the garden stores. They got all these bags and stuff up there, these bright colors and all these beautiful plants and things in it. And they know what they're doing to you. They said it has fertilizer in the bag. Okay, so what? I can make my own compost and sprinkle in some fertilizer. I could do that. You gonna charge me $4 more because you did it? I don't think so. Are you going to try to charge me more money? But I can make my own compost from leaves, which is completely free. And you want to sell it to me for $4 or $5 a bag. A bag? Oh, no, I don't think so. Thanks, Morning Gardener. I think that's what you put there. Oh, thank you, Morning Gardener. See, here's my deal, folks. Because of my age, I'm 1,000 years old. When people put up TH and TT and BB, it took me a while to even get LOL. I mean, because I was like, what does that mean? What does that mean? So I asked some of the kids at work, they said, oh, that means laugh out loud. And I said, oh, okay. Okay. But it's all good. It's all good. No, when you said us to overlook the pictures of you. Oh, yeah. Oh, you said, okay, I got you. Okay. I got you now. Now, see, I told you I was a little slow. I told you that. It took me a while to get it. But here's what's happening. When you put in, when you put, oh my goodness. But when you put in your, let me get myself together first. When you put in, what you put in the ground is what's going to determine what's going to come out of the ground. And I need all of you to remember one thing. If you don't leave away from nothing today of this channel, if you never come back again to this channel, and that's liable to happen, you never know. But if you don't get a chance to come back, remember this one thing. The key is organic matter. The key is, it is not difficult. If most of us have clay soil, just remember that. You're not the only one. Most of you had clay soil. So keep in mind to make certain that when fall comes, those leaves are your priority. I mean it, they're your priority. You need to get those leaves. You need to get those grass clippings when you cut your lawn. As long as you didn't add any chemicals in your lawn, get those lawn clippings. Get them. They're worth gold, folks. They're worth gold. And you can use this stuff. You got to put them in a compost pile, or you could put them around your fruit trees, or you could put them around your vegetables, these clippings and everything. And don't forget your weeds. And that's more challenging. That's for your more seasoned gardeners, because you got to put the gloves on, and you got to go in. You got to either cut them off with a weed trimmer and then put them around your plants, or just cut them and leave them. And because that's what I do, I just cut them and leave them. And they will feed your garden. They will take care and nurture your soil, because they come from long tap roots, some of them. And because what they keep doing here, and this is what confuses a lot of you, they keep saying, get some comfrey, get some comfrey. Comfrey's the best. Comfrey's what you want to use. Comfrey's, yeah, got it. Comfrey is a plant that holds a lot of nutrients because it has a deep tap root. But a lot of weeds have deep tap roots. But they like the comfrey because it delivers quite a bit of nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium. But don't keep in mind, you don't need comfrey to get out of control on your property, because that's a vicious son of a gun. When you bring them in there and plant it, they can get out of control. They can get out of control. But just keep that in mind. Just keep it in mind that you want to make certain that you get weeds on your team, because they're going to be there. They're going to be there, and you need to make them friends of yours. You need to go ahead and say, I'm going to cut you off as close as I can get you to the ground, and I'm going to lay you right on top of the soil, and you're going to grow me some food. Okay? All right. This has been the Morning Garden Show, folks. I want to thank you all for tuning in. And remember, we're going to do this again. I'm going to put up new information as to what days I'm going to come in, because Monday is not getting it. I might do it around this time, but Monday's not getting it because no one's on, and I can't sit there for, I don't know how many hours. It seems like an hour, like hours. But I want to make certain that people are tuning in and getting the information. The most important thing for me is that they get the information, and so they can grow a bountiful gardens. We're getting down to the wire. We'll be coming into the gardening season again this year. This year. And we want to make certain that we have the information that we need so we can grow what we intend to grow. All right, this is the Morning Garden. Thank you very much for tuning in. And remember, keep on growing. Yes, this is the Morning Garden. Keep on growing.